What is up, YouTube audience? Today's installment we're going to be What's up, YouTube audience? Today we're going to be taking this ordinary dresser here with stickers all over it and converting it into a vanity. So this dresser has been replaced. The drawers are not really working much at all. So we've replaced her dresser with another, and rather than just throwing this out, since the drawers don't work, we're going to repurpose it today. She's been wanting a vanity for quite some time, and I figured what better way to give her one than to make one. But I will take you each step by step as this project goes, let you see how this gets done. Alright, so let's get started. We started with a basic dresser with a mirror on top. All I've done so far is taken the mirror off and the drawers out. From here, I'll be taking out these middle pieces right here, 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 and here. And then I'll show you what it looks like from there. Alright, that is done. Took a little bit more than what I thought. So what I found is that just trying to beat it out with a hammer doesn't exactly work. As you can see, the wood is kind of splintered all over the place. They had everything kind of, I guess, cross-joined and glued. Just a tip, if you're doing this at home, it's probably easier to pull it apart with pliers, what I found. So there's the pliers I was using, just big channel locks, and combination of hammering and prying with channel locks took it out pretty cleanly after the first few brute force attempts. So anyway, continuing ever onward. Next thing I want to do, as you can probably see, since I took all those braces off, it's a little flimsy on the side. But what I'm going to do is, if you look right here in the back, you can see this gap right here, and that makes it a little bit taller. So I'm going to cut that part off on each side, and that'll drop the dresser by, 2 or 3 inches there. Alright, so as you can see, the cut has been made. It's different from the other piece. I haven't cut that one yet on the other side. So now what I did is I also cut out this section right here so that I could take the molding from the previous piece, and now that's going to fit right in there like that, so that it looks better than if I just left it open like that. Alright, so I will show you what that looks like once I get that put in. There it is, all put in. Now of course some sanding and some paint work will make that look much better, but as you can see, it dropped our dresser height from the previous side. So now I just need to do that same thing on the other side, and everything will match up. There it is, about 3 inches shorter now. Now what I'm going to focus on is what I mentioned in the last couple of videos about the stability, and I'm probably going to put a cross beam from about somewhere in there to right about there, and then the same thing on the other side. So just so it's not in the path of where the person's going to be sitting, but it will kind of stabilize these sides. So let me get started on that right now. Here's a rough guess of what it's going to look like. I still haven't put anything together yet, and just kind of roughly laid it out there so you get the idea. But basically, I cut out these little biscuit things for it to fit in the groove there on the bottom, and then of course that'll attach to the side right over there. Same thing for the other side there. Sorry about the dogs barking. Constant thing we hear every day. Yay! I love neighbors' dogs. They're awesome. I had this idea as I was working on this to give it the throwback to the dresser that it used to be. And the slots in the back here actually are the perfect size for the drawers to fit back in there. So what I've done is just put a couple of braces behind the drawer faces, and then just put them in there. That way they would be flush, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I've taken one of the drawers out to show you exactly what I was talking about. So I just took some pieces of the wood from the drawer, cut them down, and stacked them on top of each other. It looks like two together. It's just enough to make the drawers flush when I put them back in. So and then I'll be screwing those down and of course sanding them later and painting them to match whatever color we decide to go with on the outside. So just something to make it a little unusual and cool, and that's it. So next step will be attaching those drawer faces there and then sanding the whole thing, getting it ready for paint. We have started the first round of sanding. You can see I still got to take the knobs off and sand that one more time. But for the most part, the sanding is just about complete. Some minor little touches, and like I said, I'll probably go over the whole thing just one more time, just to make sure that it is ready for paint. So it is almost done. There's the mirror that was on top of it. Still going to be working on that as well. But there we are so far. So one more round of sanding, and I'll be ready for paint. Alright, so here's my idea that I had for the mirror. You can see I took it off the frame. I was going to sand down the frame and try to paint it the same as the Vanity, but I decided that what I would do instead is make it into kind of like a beauty mirror, I guess you'd call it. And how I did that is I just laid a template down on top of the mirror, and then I just used the sander, which is right there, to sand around it. So the part that you see that's kind of cloudy has actually been sanded, and then the part in the middle is, of course, is just mirror. So once I clean that up, that should look real nice. And that'll be going right over top of the Vanity when we're done. I went ahead and taken the knobs off and sanded that again. So it is actually ready for paint. And once painted, it'll be all done. One last thing that I'm going to do is actually fill in these holes on the side here that were from the old drawer supports with some wood putty, and then sand that down. But other than that, it is ready for paint. Let's do it. Alright, so here we are, 2 days and many coats of paint later, and this is what we have. So I decided to kind of mold around the drawers just to kind of make it look a little bit better inside. And of course you won't see the top part here once it's set up like it's supposed to be set. But that is pretty much it. I'm gonna let that dry for about a day or two to cure, and make sure everything's completely dry before we take it inside. And that's it. Had some unfortunate news with the mirror. I don't know if just being outside or what, but it actually cracked. So we're gonna be on the hunt for a new mirror. But I thought it turned out pretty good. Painted a border around it and did the sanding around kind of like a beauty mirror, but it decided to crack. We'll get that replaced, and I will take a picture of everything after it's all dried up and ready to go for the finished product. Thank you guys for going on this journey with me. Appreciate you watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Hope you have a great day. Thanks.